Are you being truthful?
Thank you, Leader of the Opposition, fellow colleague, members of Parliament. Good morning. I want to first start off by thanking the charitable organizations that have come on board and have played a role in this hurricane. They have done more than the government. That I represent a constituency in Westmoreland that we're a part of the government, we're a part of the country. And at the same time, private sector, private individuals, charitable organizations have done more than the government of the land. 1 month, it's 4 weeks from now, it is Christmas. I have over 1,000 homes that are.
Mr. Fisenli did it well.
I had indicated that I was initially in the habit of using words like specious, mendacious, a stranger to the truth, that sort of euphemism, fallacious narrative to describe their false statements, but I felt it should be called out for what it is, barefaced lies. That was our
Barefaced lies. Barefaced lies. You know, truthfulness is a fundamental moral principle. And lying is always wrong. Even if it seems expedient. Is Mr. Hayles' statement misleading? Or is it false? Or is it both misleading and false? Is it true that private individuals have done more in Westmoreland than the government of Jamaica? Is that true? Let's come back. Let's come back to this. Let's come back. Mr. Hayles is fallacious, is what is called a false equivalence, where two things that are not comparable are presented as being equal. In this case, Mr. Hayles is equating the efforts of the private individuals and organizations with those of the government, implying that they are somehow comparable, or even that the private sector is doing more. However, the government is vastly superior and has much more capacity than any private sector or any individual. You just need to look, for example, at the fact that the government is able to give $150 million to the JPS. Which private sector in Jamaica, which individual, which charity could loan $25 billion to the JPS? That in and of itself is a clear demonstration of the government's ability to deploy significant resources in response to the crisis. For a member of parliament to say that the private people are doing more than the government is what? What it is, Mr. Fitzhenley?
On the time when they were lying on the water quality, lying about the distribution of black tanks by the Jamaican state, and so forth. Subsequent to the election, that trend has continued, and I genuinely believe that when the annals of Jamaican history are written, the Mark Golding-led opposition, PNP, would be seen to have built a legacy of cultivating a number of lies for political gain. It has to be part of their legacy. And that is not to say that under various administrations from Mr. Siaga, Patterson, or Ed Golding, that information has not been put into the public domain by politicians, which is not entirely so. You know, surely there was some misleading information, but generally when called out, the politicians would seek to bring to heel or clarify, or some element of contrition would be brought to bear. But this lot, this brand of Mark Golding-led PNP, my God, they lie about matters of national importance and current affairs.
For example, this.
Been guns that have come on board and have played a role in this hurricane. They have done more than the government. And I'm ashamed to say
that is a lie. And I don't need to spend 20 minutes explaining that cannot be true. It cannot be true that private individuals have done more than the government. That is not true. Now, why then is did Mr. Hayles either say that or do that? Why? You know, I was going to leave this matter alone, but not much is being done in calling out these guys. I see Mr. Fitzhenley trying, but more needs to be done.
To bear. But this lot, this brand of Mark Golding-led PNP, my God, they lie about matters of national importance and current affairs. So much so, it is part of their DNA. It is part of the fabric of their existence, how they conduct themselves. And I strongly believe that that sort of conduct should be condemned by the people of Jamaica. Indeed, as I said, it has to be part of the legacy of this Mark Golding-led PNP. And when they're called out, they simply move on to the next lie. They must be able to do better. I refuse to believe that they can't do better.
Can they do better? Comrades, can you do any better? My God. Anyway, the People's National Party have asked for transparency in terms of the resources collected for reconstruction. And the government ought to be transparent. But what about the PNP's own money? Since I don't want a little bit of pressure. The opposition is calling for transparency, but transparency and accountability is a two-way street. What is the party doing with the money that it is collecting? How much money have you collected? Where is it? If the government is being asked to be transparent about the resources that it has collected for reconstruction, it's only fair that the PNP, as the opposition party, they should be transparent about the funds that they have collected too. How much money have you collected so far? What have you done with the money? In fact, well, they're getting out their tape. My God, all of us. All of a sudden, they're getting a little nervy. You see? The PNP's own integrity and credibility depends on their ability to demonstrate transparency and accountability in their own fundraising efforts. It's not just about pointing fingers at the government. It's about showing the public that you are committed to the same principles that you are demanding from the government. The country must ask the comrades, where is the money, the Melissa money that you are collecting? How are you using it? How much have you collected so far? And whilst there is no legal obligation, a voluntary disclosure of the amount of funds collected should be asked for. How have the money been used? Is it being used, for example, in a partisan way? Isn't this an opportunity for the PNP to show leadership and demonstrate their ability to work collaboratively with the government and with other stakeholders to support the reconstruction effort? Why is the PNP not being transparent about their own fundraising? Why? The principles of stewardship don't apply to the PNP? Why is it that no one is asking them any question? Every week they come to Parliament and they want answers from the government. And they complain about money and they want more money. But who know that they are raising funds too? So stewardship don't apply to the PNP? Transparency don't apply to the PNP? Accountability don't apply to them? Why is it that the comrades get away with all of this all the time? Why? Why is it that they are held to a lower standard? I mean, it's clear that they have low standards. But why are they on a different plane? You know, the test of the ethics of a decision is the willingness of the decision maker to be accountable for its consequences. And so I think the country should demand accountability from the government. Yes, quite frankly, the Auditor General, the Integrity Commission, the opposition itself, the media, civil society groups, they're all watchdogs at this time. Then there are whistleblowers. You see what happened in Parliament with the Auditor General report? That came out of whistleblowing. But the PNP is not asked no question. So by demanding accountability from the government, the PNP is implicitly acknowledging the importance of transparency and accountability. You see how the Minister of Finance was grilled on Tuesday? Quite frankly, I don't even know if she was grilled, because a lot of those questions were, I don't know. I believe that the comrades must demonstrate their own commitment to these principles by disclosing the funds they have collected and how they are being used. We're calling upon the PNP to tell us how much money you collect. If you really want to be seen as a party of integrity and of accountability, that which you have demanded, do it yourself. Because ought implies can. If you are advocating for transparency and accountability, you ought to be able to demonstrate it yourself. Ought implies can. Because by doing so, comrades, you would embody the virtue of ethics and lead by example. I challenge the comrades to call at their next press conference, disclose your fundraising efforts since Hurricane Melissa. How many millions have you collected in United States dollars? And what have you done with it? Is it possible that the funds you are collecting dash, 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 dash? Furthermore, it would be nice if you act according to the maxim whereby you can at the same time will that it should become a universal law. If you live in a glass house, not throw a stone, and if you can't take blow, don't throw blow. The maxim is transparency and accountability. Can you live by that? As I said, there's no law to force them to disclose. But it is a test of the party's integrity. The leader of the party, in his Heroes Day message, spoke of the malignant influence of money on influencing elections. The malignant influence of money, implying thereby that money may have been responsible for the outcome of the election. Malignant, he said. And here we have two political parties in Jamaica. One is government, one is opposition. The Prime Minister said in Parliament that the opposition is part of the government. Then how do you have part of the government out there raising funds and no accountability? And no one is asking any questions. Everybody has turned a blind eye to it. Not fair. To the extent that the government must account for every red cent it gets, because I can tell you this, the Integrity Commission, the Auditor General, the media, they're all watching. And everyone is waiting and watching to see, will there be a scandal? But on the other side of the government, you have people setting up websites, collecting their own monies, and no one is asking any questions about that. No one asks any question, because guess what? They're the comrades, eh? Well, if we are going to be fair, then those are questions that ought to be asked. Let's spend a little time on Dr. Dawes and then we get to the calls. 28 after 8. When you talk about bias in Jamaica, they're not answerable to no one. But it goes to the heart of ethics, accountability, transparency.
Our listeners, could you please continue to stream and share the live? And also, please, if you haven't done so already, please repost the live.
Another important decision coming out of Cabinet has to do with Christmas parties this year. And Christmas parties for government entities are off for this year. We will not be having Christmas parties. We have agreed to allow small in ministry or in department recognition and morale building activities. So if you're doing something in the office itself, that is fine, but no rental of external venues is allowed. We are strongly, though, encouraging all our ministries, departments, and agencies to conduct outreach activities with members of their team that have been affected and who reside in the affected areas. So we would love to see many of our ministries, departments, and agencies continuing the work that many are doing in terms of doing outreach in the affected areas. In terms of the...
Right, so I went on the road today, and someone said to me that the government has postponed parties for Christmas. So I thought that I would clear that up, and the government is not saying you can't have your party. They're saying government ministries, okay? So it's the government ministries that will not have any parties. Yeah, man, you can have your little party. That's not off. It's not COVID. The country is not on any lockdown. So part of the misinformation that is already spreading is that government is saying that people can't have parties this year. Boy, I tell you, it's either we don't listen or we just love deliberately run with lies.
Introducing to you the
Listen to this.
Prime Minister of the Caribbean island. Prime Minister, thank you. Thank you for having me. I am really absolutely honored and thrilled to be talking to you. And I think it's the first time in my career that I've used the word honored, because normally I say this is my job. Let's talk about...
No, this is an interview that the Prime Minister did at the G20. It's an interview with, let me see, hold on. It's an interview with Godfrey, a gentleman by the name of Godfrey. My eyeglasses are not being too good to me tonight. Let me see. But the gentleman said that it is the second time in his life that he's using the word honored. Listen to it again.
Of the Caribbean island. Prime Minister, thank you. Thank you for having me. I am really absolutely honored and thrilled to be talking to you. And I think it's the first time in my career that I've used the word honored, because normally...
The first time in his career. The gentleman said that it is the first time in his career that he has used the word honored, because it is his job. Why is he honored to talk to Mr. Hayles? I find it amazing. Listen to it again.
The Prime Minister of the Caribbean island. Prime Minister, thank you. Thank you for having me. I am really absolutely honored and thrilled to be talking to you. And I think it's the first time in my career that I've used the word honored, because normally I say this is my job. Let's talk about...
My God. Now, what I find amazing, you see, is the type of recognition that Wholeness gets from the world. Not only from world leaders, but from journalists like Godfrey here, CNBC. He works for CNBC, and CNBC is interviewing the Jamaican Prime Minister, not the American Prime Minister, Donald Trump, or the Canadian Prime Minister, Mark Carney, or the UK Prime Minister, Keir Starmer. This is little Jamaica, a country that from space is a dot. You don't see Jamaica from space. What you see is a little dot, an island in the Caribbean Sea with 3 million people. with a GDP of 20 billion US dollars. That's the value of the Jamaican output. 20 billion. That is not even one of the states in the United States. Because we are not part of the G20, you know. And a journalist from CNBC gets an interview with the Prime Minister of Jamaica and said this.
Minister of the Caribbean island. Prime Minister, thank you. Thank you for having me. I am really absolutely honored and thrilled to be talking to you. And I think it's the first time in my career that I've used the word honored, because normally I say this is my job.
Use the word honored. He's honored to be speaking to Wholeness, and for the first time in his career, he's used that word. Now, what it is about Mr. Wholeness that people like so much? What? Is this the same man that every day Derval gets up and say he is assigned, you know, Derval. My friend Derval, good night to you. He's assigned to cuss the Prime Minister. Is this the same man? The world sees the man with such such a value that the man says the first time in his career that he has used the word honored. First time. And he is so honored to be speaking to the Prime Minister. And you Jamaican people listening to me, you, Unu, I want to tell you tonight, you people in Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, Hanover, Trelawney, you are getting the support to reconstruct your lives after this natural disaster because of this man. Because of this man, Wholeness. Jamaica would have never been able, never. And when I say these things, you know, they send me all type of workless messages about bias. The country's ability to rebuild and reconstruct is because of the respect that people have for Mr. Andrew Michael Wholeness. And in his own country, the land of his birth, there are people that are paid. And what pay you think them get? You think them get enough money? Little bag juice money to come up on social media, come and castigate the man, come and cuss out the man, and I try to say all type of manner of evil against him. Right? I don't have to explain myself. I believe that I'm a fair person. And I believe that I am fair when I say to my listeners that he has been a distinguished and excellent leader of this small island developing state, Jamaica. He has been an excellent Prime Minister. And I believe that Jamaica should honor him and protect him, his interests, and his legacy. And I will also say that it is his success that has caused so much hatred. The success that he has had. This man has strapped this nation on his back. And one thing I can tell you about Hayles, that he is very empathetic. I see this man do some things that I would not do, you know, as a person. Down to earth. And he loves his people. You know, there are some leaders who lead people. There are some people who can lead people. There are some leaders people follow. And there's a difference between leading people and getting people to follow you. And I would never sit on this program, and I'm no political hack. I'm no political hack. I look deep into things. And when I see things, I call them as I see them. And I believe at this point in our history, this point will be remembered. This day in our history will be remembered. When Jamaica fell to its knees, battered by a storm, and one man strapped the nation on his back and lifted the spirits of Jamaica. I saw a girl today did a post, $100,000 in her account, a student loan borrow, 100 grand. I see the Minister of Finance on Tuesday announcing income tax, people who pay income tax, $200,000 between now and March. They're getting an income tax break. The world responded to Jamaica. Not because they love us so much, you know. You think it's because we have beach here? Music? You think that is?
I don't think you want to. Oh.
You think that is it? That is not it. It is that. You know, see what the you know, see what the World Bank said. World leading. And Mr. Hayles. Mr. Hayles was over on one side talking about government, private individuals do more than government.
Of the Caribbean island. Prime Minister, thank you. Thank you for having me. I am really absolutely honored and thrilled to be talking to you. And I think it's the first time in my career that I've used the word honored, because normally I say this is my job. Let's talk about...
I don't want to play the entire interview. I just thought that I would play that for you. CNBC journalist, for the first time in his career, is using the word honored to speak to a Jamaican Prime Minister, a boy from Spanish Town. And let me tell you young people something, that you can be inspired by this story. The world respects our Prime Minister. But here in Jamaica, we don't know what we have. You know, someone told me a story about some white crab and some black crab. You ever hear the story about the white crab and the black crab? That they put 2 buckets of crabs outside, and some of them white, some of them black. And when they woke up in the morning, all the white crabs were gone. All the white crabs were gone. And the bucket with the black crabs were still full. You know why? No, sir. The bucket with the black crabs still full, and the bucket with the white crabs empty, because the black crabs, they don't like freedom. They keep each others down. We have some good news coming out of Parliament. Hear the Prime Minister.
Police force has become far more effective in doing its job. I can say with great confidence that the JCF and the JDF have mainstreamed and internalized human rights training. It is part of their doctrine. It is part of their leadership culture, and they do try as far as they can to protect lives, including the lives of criminals. I hear a great deal of talk about the increase in the number of police killings, and I too have my own concerns about this, because I don't want it to ever be said that, you know, our police force is the most lethal. That's not the kind of police force that we are trying to create. But I believe that on the other side of the ledger, on the other side of the argument, we must also be concerned about the propensity of criminals to challenge the police. I don't hear anyone saying, why are these criminals shooting at the police? Why, when they are stopped, why, when they are interdicted, they decide to challenge the police? As I have said earlier, we have invested heavily in our police force to make them more effective. And the Jamaican state must never be at threat or at risk of criminals. If criminals challenge the state, they must not win. Our police officers must go home to their families safely. So, whilst we do have our concerns, and we have put systems in place, both internally at the leadership level, we support INLICOM and its own operations. We encourage the internal review and use of force policy in the JCF. When we meet in the National Security Council, these are matters that are discussed, because we want our police force to, more than anything else, serve, protect, and preserve life. This is also a message to the criminals. Save your life, don't challenge the police.
Well, I think that is pretty clear, and it is clear in the sense that the government has had great success with this. I mean, with all of this coverage of the hurricane recovery, these are some of the news that are missing. Here's the Prime Minister again.
Result speaks with unmatched clarity. As at December 8th, 2025, Jamaica recorded 632 murders, 463 fewer than the same period last year.
Now, pause there and ask yourself, if the news was reversed, what would be the headlines? You know, man bite dog bite man makes the news, but no, dog bite man don't make the news, but man bite dog, that's news, eh? Dog bite man, that's not news. Man bite dog, that's news. This is a monumental success of the government of Jamaica. Monumental. As at December 8th, 463 fewer murders have been committed in Jamaica. What? You know how many people that is alive? Oh my God. 463. What? Mighty God. What a country. There are 463 families that have fathers, because the great majority of these people are men, and nobody's talking about it. Jamaica, for 30 years, have never seen these numbers. It's a big deal. And so while we focus on the recovery of Melissa, let us celebrate. If there is ever a Christmas present, it is that Jamaica is no longer the murder capital of the world. Only El Salvador. We and El Salvador was rivaling each other for 1 and 2. It's a big deal. This here is the greatest achievement of the government, in my view. With all the economic achievements and the jobs and the paying down of the debt and the growing of the GDP, 463 people are alive in Jamaica tonight that would have been dead. Oh my God. Think about, there are 443 persons up here now. You know what 400 people be? Oh my God. And you criticize this Prime Minister? You criticize this man? Oh man, this man must this man must get better credit, man. Wholeness and his administration have not gotten the credit that they deserve for this country full of hypocrite. This country full of hypocrites. Because if the news was reversed and murders were spiraling out of control, there would have been call for resignation. Every day we would have been speaking about it. And here we are. Did you know, listeners, that Jamaica's murder rate went as high as 1,700 one year? 1,700. And we are looking to be below 700. That's 1,000 murders from the peak, you know. And maybe tomorrow I'll produce and bring the murder figures to you for the last 30 years. I think it's more than 20,000 people that have died. And for this year, 2025, 463 fewer murders. 463, Mr. Holness. Oh my brother, you're a big deal. You're a big deal, man. If this is not our greatest prime minister, then I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I've heard it, you know. I've heard people say that he's our greatest, and I've been very a little bit apprehensive to endorse that. But when I look at these figures and I listen to everything and I watch what is happening, I don't think that anyone even come close to his type of performance. He's give the man in props, man. Give the man in props. It's a tremendous achievement from Mr. Holness. Tremendous achievement. No wonder I don't see. No wonder the man from the G20 interview says that he was honored to be speaking. The world is watching us, you know, guys. 2 minutes to 9 o'clock, Caroline, and my time is almost up. The world is watching us.
Is it that you'd like to go on much more?
I could move. I could do a little bit longer. I could.
Why don't we ask the listeners?
Okay,
Should
hold
we
on.
go?
Hold on.
Good news, good.
So I told you this morning that Durval is now the new host of All Angles. Now here is he promoting his program All Angles. Durval.
Neighbor, you're breaking up. We cannot hear you.
Friends and all my supporter and all of Paul Buchanan, faithful, real supporter. Yes, like myself here and all the bloggers them who is blogging for Paul Buchanan. Tune in.
You hear that? The bloggers are blogging for him. The bloggers are blogging for him. Wow. You know, bloggers blogging for him. All right, go ahead.
In tonight at 8:30 p.m. sharp, where Mr. Paul Buchanan and his lawyer will be on All Angles. Tune in tonight at 8:30 p.m. where Mr. Paul Buchanan will be on All Angles with his lawyer, so you hear everything about how the court case go and what have you. So tune in tonight, 8:30 p.m. on All Angles. See you over there.
There you go. See you over there. He's the host of the program now. I like him. I like Durval. But I tell you something. You can't hate everybody. I like you, brother. I like Durval. Big up Durval. Corporate Durval. I tell you the truth. I tell you the truth. Yeah. Big up Durval. I tell you. Just get a program. I've run out of time, you know. We're trying to negotiate a little bit more time for you. Okay, listeners, stay tuned.
It's not reading book makes you become the intelligent, you know. It's what you
All right, Peanut Dread said
face
this.
and pass through in life, you see, make you become the intelligent. Some people can only read. That's all. But they don't pass through nothing. Experience teaches wisdom, you see. Right? It's not reading book make you become the intelligent, you know. It's what you face and pass through in life, you see, make you become the intelligent. Some people can only read. That's all. But they don't pass through nothing. Experience teaches wisdom, you see. Right? It's not reading book make you become the intelligent, you know. It's what you face and pass through in life, you see, make you become the intelligent. Some people can only read. That's all. But they don't pass.
Well, I think it would serve Dr. Dawes well to go and have a session with Peanut Dread. Dr. Dawes, you would learn a little thing from Peanut Dread. By the way, did you know that Peanut Dread actually went to Parliament? Yes, Peanut Dread went to Parliament. This matter of opportunity cost, you know, it's a very disappointing, very, very disappointing statement that our friend Dr. Dawes made. Now, Dr. Dawes, if you are listening to the program, do you have electricity, sir? Do you have electricity where you are? Are you, maybe you are wrapped up in your nice couch and drinking some nice juice or whatever. Maybe your air condition is on and you've got mosquito mesh, so no mosquitoes are in your place. So Dr. Dawes, you deserve it, eh? You work hard and got your PhD. Well, you decided to enter representational politics, and when you did, you have to understand, Dr. Dawes, that not all of us can live like that. Not all of us. Some of us build little huts, and we can't afford mosquito mesh, so we have to lock our doors and buy destroyer. Yeah. And we can't afford air condition, but we may afford a little fan. Yes, sir? So have mercy, sir. Have mercy. Don't focus too much on the pragmatic utilitarianism, where you prioritize economic calculations over human needs. Pragmatic utilitarianism. This economic argument that you raise in the parliament about opportunity costs maybe demonstrates your acumen with economics, but it shows your lack of emotional intelligence, as Peanut Dread just pointed out. It's not the books you read, man. It is your experience. And for the second night, I want my listeners to understand empathy. Empathy. There should be no debate about getting back the people light. No debate. That is not debatable. because light is connected to life. That is why they don't put light in the grave. They don't wire the grave with electricity, you know. When you let down the dead, no light is there. They don't need light. The dead don't need any light, sir. But the living do. It's a failure to consider the inherent value of people, the dignity of individuals, and the sheer human suffering that they are undergoing, even at this time. It is a classic critique of utilitarianism. The argument here is that ethics must prioritize the individual experience and dignity over what is called abstract calculations. Don't haul the minister over the coal about opportunity costs. That the Ministry of Finance is to consider the cost. Especially the fact that the PNP supporters are drawn from vulnerable segment of the society. And speaking to some of them, they feel that they are being neglected by the party, that they love, that they serve. Abstract economic principles don't apply here. Portia Simpson Miller was right. You have to balance people's lives while you balance the book. And you know, time come, Dr. Dawes. Time come. I think time come. Because justice is what love looks like in people. I think time has come for the PNP to introspect. Because the interest of the people is not at the forefront of your minds right now. And that was clear in Parliament on Tuesday, listening to Dr. Dawes. And he has alienated a lot, you know. The very people that you need for the next election, you're alienating them. Caroline?
That's me, I'm here.
Let's move on. My time is up. You're gonna give a couple callers, and let me see if I can push through till about 9:30. Let's do that, please.
Well, before you move on, neighbor, I'm asking 20 guests to donate $10 each. We have Cash App and Zelle. The Zelle number is 954-635-8732. But I'm posting the information in the chat. Listeners, could you please support by donating? Would really appreciate it. Thanks.
Okay, come here. So here we go. You need to send your $10 if you can. Great night to you. $10 in the UK, in the United States, to the Zelle account at 954-635-8732. 954-635-8732. Let's see if we can push through some more, a little bit more time. But we need to $10? Oh my God, come on, you can do it. Odette, hi. Hello. Good night. Huh?
Good night.
Hi, good night.
Hello.
Well, I am saying hello, you are saying hello. Hello, hello.
How are you?
Not doing too bad at all. How are you doing?
Not here, neighbor?
I'm hearing you quite well.
I'm good. I'm good.
You are not hearing me well, and your background is very.
I'm just hearing.
Background is noisy. Can't hear you at all.
Noisy?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right then. As I said, I'm just here listening. Listening to you
Yes.
and learning at the same time.
What are you learning?
Yes, sir. About a whole lot.
Well,
A whole lot.
Well, thank you. Yes. 954.
Okay.
This one. Please. Oh my God. Go ahead. Admin. Oh my God. The Zelle account is 954-635-8732. It's on your screen. Nine five four 635-8732. By the way, our equipment crashed today, and I'm happy to tell you that we have been able to sort that out. Our moderator and a couple of our listeners, we were able to sort it out. Wow, Politics Plus is back and on top. Great night. Yasmin, are you there? Good night, Derek. Hello, Derek. Quick fingers, sharp fingers, disconnected. Yasmin, good night. Top of the night to you. Hi.
Hi.
Speak up a little bit. My God, she was saying good night. Lady J, which WhatsApp? Lady J, what WhatsApp? Good evening. Hello? Yeah, take it. Gary Johnson, good night. Hello? Gary Johnson, good night to you, sir.